The return of Metro has been a long time coming, but all the leaks and whispers coming out of 4A Games point to a comeback that could very well be the best chapter in the franchise if they actually stick to their roots and give us a dark, gritty Metro experience like it's rumored to. While we're still waiting for the official reveal, it's clear that this new game will be different from the ones we've played before, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. For starters, we've had a bunch of leaks and rumors recently that talked about brand new details. It's important to note that these insiders who leaked all of this are mostly from Russia and Europe, but they're actually known to give real credible details from actual sources. But still, take all of this with a grain of salt. 88% of you watching this video right now aren't subscribed, which is crazy. Let's get that number down to 8% right now. Though if any of this turns out true, I just can't wait to see it in action. The next Metro game will reportedly return to Moscow, the city that's been both the setting and the soul of the franchise. But this time, it won't be Artyom leading us through the irradiated remnants of the world. Instead, we'll be playing as a new protagonist, someone with their own story, motivations, and ties to the world of Metro. It's a significant shift, but it opens up a whole new set of possibilities, new relationships, different approaches to survival, and what's said to be an even darker, more cynical view of the post-apocalyptic world. It's a big risk, but Metro has always thrived on shaking things up while staying true to its core principles. The leaks say this new character will be more grounded and resourceful, someone who has adapted to the world in their own unique way, perhaps even questioning the ideology of all the factions and orders that settled in this new world and what it means to survive. One of the most intriguing things to come out of the leaks is the game's linear structure. After the expansive open world feel of Metro Exodus, many fans were hoping for an even larger map, but 4A Games has reportedly abandoned that idea, saying that making a true open world Metro was simply too ambitious from a technical perspective, and they wanted to focus on a smaller world to add all the details and fun possible. Instead, they're focusing on a tightly designed, story-driven experience with an emphasis on exploration and environmental storytelling. Expect the familiar mix of claustrophobic tunnels, worn-down military facilities, and overgrown, irradiated zones. If this is all real, the world will feel more intimate again, with each location serving a specific purpose to push the narrative forward. That being said, Metro's world is far from small. We'll see old favorites from Metro 2033 and Last Light, but they'll have been transformed by the passage of time. The remnants of the old world are still there, but they've been reshaped by nature and human intervention. Adding to the rich lore of the Metro universe, it's clear that the world building will continue to be a huge focus, with new underground locations, abandoned research facilities, and even some semi-destroyed surface environments. As for the enemies, it looks like we'll be facing more than just the standard mutated horrors. Leaks suggest that new creatures will stalk the dark corridors, evolving from what we saw in previous games. There might be new variations of the Watchmen and demons, but expect some more unpredictable and terrifying monsters, maybe something that uses the environment to its advantage. There are whispers of a new breed of mutant lurking in the shadows. This would take Metro's hallmark horror to the next level. But it's not just the monsters that are evolving, and the gameplay mechanics are reportedly getting an upgrade as well. Stealth and resource management will be more important than ever, forcing you to make every bullet count, because ammo will be scarce as always and every fight will feel like a struggle for survival. This could be Metro's most brutal entry yet, pushing players to the edge of despair with its relentless combat mechanics and the constant pressure to scavenge for supplies. The environment itself will feel like a living, breathing entity. Think poisonous fog, radioactive storms, and hazardous traps designed to make survival even more difficult. Of course, the new protagonist will need new tools to survive, and the leaks hint at a new weapon crafting and upgrading system that promises to be just as satisfying as before. 4A Games has teased that they are working on dynamic day-night cycles and weather patterns that will alter how you approach certain areas. Imagine roaming hordes of mutants swarming the streets at night, or the disorienting effect of fog rolling in, making everything feel even more treacherous. As we dive deeper into the story, we're going to see some major shifts roles in the narrative. We can already tell this new game will explore new themes of isolation, conflict, and humanity's last stand in a world where hope has long been extinguished. The game's tone will be even darker, influenced by real-world events like the ongoing war in Ukraine with Russia, which has impacted many of the 4A Games developers personally. We might see more socio-political themes emerge as the story unfolds, how different factions or groups of survivors might view the world differently, and how some people will do anything to maintain power in a world that has collapsed. I'm not sure it's the best of ideas to incorporate these kind of politics in-game, but if it's made in a way that doesn't feel forced, I could live with that. They said it will be heavily inspired by that war. That means maybe the story could be far less about fighting monsters and more about fighting humanity's darker impulses, like dealing with those who believe in controlling what's left of civilization and those who just want to survive at any cost. The game will likely dive into the psychological toll of surviving in such a world, exploring what it means to be human when all that's left is chaos. The developers have made it clear that they want the story to be more mature, thought-provoking, and emotional, pushing the player to make hard decisions about loyalty, survival, and the very nature of humanity. Metro has always been about atmosphere, and this installment looks set to make that feeling even more intense with some of the darkest, most haunting moments this series has ever seen. In terms of reveal, while nothing is official, all signs point toward a summer 2025 reveal, most likely during an event like Summer Game Fest or Gamescom, which I'll definitely be covering. We've seen that Metro's fans are a passionate group, and as more leaks trickle in, the hype continues to build. If the leaks are anything to go by, this could be the most immersive, brutal, and emotional Metro game yet. With next-gen hardware, a reworked and revamped gameplay system, and a narrative that promises to delve deeper into the complexities of human nature and survival, Metro's next chapter looks poised to deliver something truly special. Fans of the series have been waiting for this moment for years, and from what we've seen so far, I definitely think it's coming soon. Everything points to this next Metro game being a milestone for this series. The timing alone, 15 years after the original, makes it a legacy project. 4A is leveraging all the advances in technology and storytelling they've gathered over those years. They themselves say it will be the series' most relevant chapter in the context of today's world. A story about war's impact is sure to resonate. Dmitry Glukovsky's involvement ensures the narrative authenticity that fans love. He helped craft the vision from the start. The team has also matured, having expanded to over 200 people across 2 countries, with multiple games and even a VR spin-off under their belt. 4A Games brings more muscle and creativity than ever. They've pushed our ambitions even higher on their own words. With such resources, we can expect cinematic scope, dramatic set pieces on the surface, desperate underground skirmishes, and maybe even multi-location storytelling that ties back to the series' lore.